Well,
Woo!
welcome to My Fight Our War.
Uh-huh.
I'm your host, Manny Vitale, and also co-host of Music and Mayhem on Wednesdays with my brother, Skylar Ray. And right off the bat, so did you notice anything different? That is compliments of Tim Snyder over at Talkin Trash. My
Yay,
brothers
Tim.
over there. The family at Talkin Trash came through again. Tim is a wizard, man. He just showed me a bunch of shit. We'll get
just
into
calling
that
him
too. Because it
Dumbledore.
was just like, push this button. What's it gonna do, Tim? Ah! So we're gonna chit chat about that. And we also have Will coming on, and we've got another guest, Nick, coming on as well. But before we do that, of course, we have to bring on OG.
Okay, there I am. I'll be in the green room, of course.
She's going to be doing
Taking
the
notes.
OG thing. And
And Jackie already said she
I'm
loves the
seeing
intro.
shit in the background. It's like when I had my shrooms. Tim's. All right,
The
but
explosion.
we're going to pop you in the back.
Okay, thanks.
And right now we're going to bring on the man himself who created this. Tim.
You're not going to fit my head through the door. You keep pumping my tires like this.
I'm telling you, man. Okay, should we go with this one or should we go with that one?
I always like this one.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So, again, man, what an intro. I mean, I love it. First of all, that's my song, man. Playing hockey. Well, when I played for Lakeview, I was captain of our high school team. And before we'd hit the ice for a game, we'd have the big boom box, and we had that thing just blasting. And so
man,
busted before. So, Tim, thank you so much.
It's really my pleasure. It's my job as a recovering addict who has gifts that God gave him. I have to give them back.
Well, I tell you, it's amazing, and I appreciate it. And this whole thing here that has happened, and like we both said, it's nothing. It's all been forced and just thrown in, and it's like, make this happen now and do this. It's just happened, man.
Yeah.
And that's when you know it's real. It's authentic.
Yep.
Speaking of real and authentic, we've got someone else waiting here. Let's get Will in the picture. There's
Willie
Will.
D.
Hey, what's up? How are y'all? Nothing much. How are you guys doing?
He's Cloud 9 over here.
I'm just like, what does this do? What does that do? What does this do? And OG's just over there, just like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just sit back and talk or whatever. I let Tim. That's Tim's. He's the captain of the ship.
Will is he's one of my co-hosts or hosts. We're all hosts. We're all equals now. And he's he's seen it all. We play Recovery Jeopardy, and like, I mean, it's gimmicky. It gets a little gimmicky, but that's the point. Self-deprecating. People like can associate with it and get on board, laugh at us. We're laughing at ourselves. It's recovery. If you can't laugh, what's the point? And Willie's the best. Willie's the best giggler there ever was. He just in the back giggling.
Hey, laughing is healing,
It is.
Yeah.
You just OG. That's what she says. She's always laughing.
Life is better when you're laughing.
And that's just it, man. We have so much fun. And with the shows, well, first of all, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but my IT skills are like zero. I know it's very hard to tell. But, we all do our jobs. And mine, like I said earlier, I talk into this, I look into that, and I do my best to make an ass out of myself, and it works.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the thing is, and Tim, you nailed it, man. What we do is, the one thing is just be authentic. It's been almost a year now that I've been doing podcasts, and the people that I've seen that are just basically full of shit, who, as soon as the camera turns off, they are not what they claim to be and all that, and that's fine. Yay, whatever. I'm not going to tell anyone how to run their shit. But for me, I said from the get-go, I said, listen, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I have no degrees as far as counseling, peer coach, life coach, none. I'm one of you, and we're not going to sugarcoat shit. So I may not be for everybody. It's called My Fight Our War. It's not I'm going to tickle your ass with a feather. It's My Fight Our War.
I might like that.
Right?
Telling tales.
Well, I tell you what, we got one of the guys in our New York studio. I don't know if you saw Leroy Ebron. He was a corrections officer in Rikers Island.
Yeah, yep.
The stories, and this is just the beginning. But anyways, man, that's
Manny, real quick. Look what I did for you. Check that out.
Oh, Gordy.
You were just talking about Gordy, so I,
with the Whalers. Yep. And
yeah, he was 50 years old with the Whalers. That guy was an animal.
we got
Jim Leibel's on, and he said he wishes he could join y'all.
Aw,
Oh,
Oh.
Jim.
we do love him.
Is there no
He's
more
a
space on the bus? No, whatever. I don't know.
Jim.
he doesn't. I have to keep track of the time zones now. He's like, oh, it's 8 o'clock our time. I'm like, I know it's 6 o'clock your time. He's in a, but he is great. See, with our people, it's hard to wrangle them last second because everybody does stuff in
Yeah, but-
recovery. They go to meetings, they go to H and
Ah.
I. They're always doing stuff. So like
good.
they're scheduled Sunday and Wednesday. We always do the show, most of us. But like this kind of stuff, I got to wrangle Will in. I got to wrangle my my guests for tomorrow in. But like we have a great we're family. We're family.
That's
That's all.
Mhm.
I forgot to. I did switch back to the comments. I was like, "How come no one's talking?" I'm like, "Hey, there's King Handsome, Jacqueline, and there's Jim and everybody." So, hey, welcome, and I hope you guys had a chance to check out the intro. If not, you can see it again when you replay this. It is incredible, and it's compliments of Tim Snyder. And Tim, it was a great job. So, King Handsome is I saw you were in Connecticut doing some gigs there. King Handsome, Skylar Ray. They dropped a song on their show, Music and Mayhem. They are just amazing. Skylar Ray's fiance, Kayla.
Ooh,
Oh my
boys.
God! If you guys got some time, check out their music. But anyways, to just kind of let everyone know what's going on is, as always, nothing planned. This was something I was talking to Tim. I just reached out to say, hey, man, I appreciate the intro and what you did. And let's go live. When? Tonight.
It's refreshing to me. We're all planned out and graphics and all this shit. This is nice. This is just
I love it. And it's just like people are like, what are you going to talk about? I go, beats the hell out of me.
We'll figure it
Before
out.
I start almost every show, unless it's our Monday, Wednesday, it starts out like this. I hit the live, and you know how you got that couple seconds before it goes?
Yep.
So I hit the live, and also I go, what is today? And then she'll tell me what day it is. And then I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Weather.
And she's just like, I don't know. And so then it says you are live. Hey.
It's not a bad life to live if you don't know what day it is. I mean, they're all the same. Everything's cool.
And the thing is, how many times did we live that in our past lives?
No kidding.
Oh my
Right?
God, man!
How many sporting events I went to that I don't remember the score of?
When I was riding with the motorcycle club, our clubhouse. I remember many times getting to the clubhouse, and it was like just party days. And I remember walking out of the clubhouse because there's no windows, and I'd walk out and it'd be like looking, and it was like dusk or dawn because it was like, is the sun going up or coming down? And it was just like. But where's everyone? Will, where are you at? Where are you coming from?
I'm in north of Atlanta.
North of Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah, it's called Ranger, Georgia. I grew up in Marietta, which is more local or more metro Atlanta. But I am from South Georgia, the Georgia-Florida line. That's where I'm originally from. So
in Ranger, Georgia, they barely have Wi-Fi service, so he kind of blurs in and out. But no, it's getting better. Will's about an hour and a half from me. I'm from New Jersey. I moved down here and I met Will. I was at a point in my life, so it was so bad that I was going to rehab sober because my life was so fucked up. Like I had nowhere else to go, nothing to do. I burned everything to the ground. So like my parents moved down here a couple of years ago, and I came down here, found a rehab 90-day thing, kind of planted my feet, met Will. 89 days. I got into a fight on the 90th day, but it was a experience. I met good people. It was great. And I'm not a Georgia guy at all. I don't like it down here. I'm from New Jersey. My kids are in New Jersey. They all say I have an accent. I'm like, you guys have the fucking accent. I don't have an accent.
I know. Who is it? Lori is in Athens, Alabama.
Y'all.
I remember when we were talking, she was talking about y'all and fixing. And then then I got bless your heart. I go, these people are so nice down south. And they're like, man, bless your heart is you just got shined, man. There's like, what? I didn't know that was like a.
I will not say y'all, not happening. And like I run meetings down here. I do I do meetings 3 times a week, and I run one of them, and we always start it with, "You all ready to have a meeting?" And everybody goes, "Let's have one." And I'm like, "Is everybody ready to have a meeting?" They're like, let's have one, I guess. So like, I am a foreigner, but they like me because I'm weird. And they all watch the podcast. Like I don't advertise this podcast at AA meetings. And I sacrifice my anonymity to do the podcast, which is fine. Because I'm an open book, and that's what helps people not do the things I did. And they all watch it. Somehow they all found it and watch it and talk about it. And I love sitting in there and hear somebody two rows back go, "Did you see on Talking Trash when they did that stupid ass thing with the thing?" So it's we hit a demographic, and like the graphics and all that shit is. We are in rehabs every week. We do a live show on Wednesday at 8 and Sunday at 9. And like 7, 8, 9 rehabs play us as their last group of the day. Like if the AA people bail, which happens 90% of the time, they'll put on our show and use it as a visual group, and they love it. And they use our old ones like during the day. I think I'm running these rehabs actually. I don't know if anybody's doing groups or what, but like they're all watching. It's great, and that's why the production had to ramp up, and so it's hard to balance good content and production. Like I am OCD and ADD to the max. I'm doing 10 things at once. Manny, I did your video last night. It took me 6 hours to do 40 seconds, and it's just like that's how it is. Like I'm doing 10 different things. It's like it's not great, but it turns into a decent show. We have fun, and we're here to help people. That is the point of this whole thing.
It is, and it's important for all of us. I'm learning so much as far as doing this type of stuff, and one of them is know your role, know what you know, don't fuck it up, and don't try to do something you don't know. So, like for me, I know what I do, and it's this right here. OG is the admin; she puts everything together as far as everything, as far as scheduling, my schedule here. Our guests here, our guests in New York,
his list for the day,
Connecticut, our guests for our
schedule for the day.
And, I feel safe with her down there. I feel safe.
I know. Because I'll sit there, I'll be going in 10 different directions, and I'm not allowed to do any scheduling anymore because it's like, people will get a hold of me. We want you to come on our show. Okay, what day? All right, yeah, I'll do it. And then like I'll give a few more calls. I'll do it, and then I'll give her the list, and she's just like, No, you've already done 4 different shows all in one day now, and 2 of the shows we're going to be in the plane flying to New York. It's like,
leave it to me.
So
That's
I mean,
crazy.
so Will, how long? I mean, how long has Talking Trash been up and running?
How long has it been going for? About I don't know. Honestly,
it's been going a year, but Will has just come on recently as a co-host. We're expanding.
I was too scared that when he originally started, he was asking me, and I kind of chickening out because I'm not used to doing this whole entire. If you know me in person, I'm the person that doesn't shut up, and I can talk about anything and everything. But now I get on these things, and I'm like, I got not freezed up, but it's just like I'm afraid to say something that it's gonna, I'm like, oh.
What do I do with my hands?
Right?
Oh, what's so funny about that, Will, is me. I did total flip flop because I was the one that how we all get these things. Did you ever think if someone would have told you 4 years ago you'd be doing this right now? You'd be like, oh, no way. Well, that's so true with me because I remember I had to get up in front of I think there was like 2 or 3 of my friends that I've known for like 20 years to do like a short little in service on something that I could do in my sleep, and they were friends,
right?
And but I had to get up and like just show them what to do at work. I stood up and I got in front of them, and all of a sudden I started like hyperventilating. My palms are sweating. I was like, I just anxiety, and 3 friends that I've known, and it's like there ain't no fucking way I'd see these people that are talking, these guest speakers and all these live shows. I'm like, how could I even go live? And now it's just like I get shit all the time now. They're like, Manny, that's all you do is go live. It's like,
right. Say nothing. Now you can't help yourself.
What's going on?
I hear an echo.
We have
an echo.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me see what I got going on here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Echo.
How's that?
Echo.
Oh,
Any
that's better.
better? Better?
There we go.
Better.
Yep.
I'm good at what I
Yes.
do. I'm good. Now, for some reason, I run a podcast, and I fuck up my headphones every time I'm on here. So
That happened last time. We were sitting there talking, and he's just looking at me going,
well, I'm playing with my ear. I have to fiddle with something, right? And I'm playing with my
Kaisa.
Tice is there. I'm
Kaisa's in the house.
I'm playing with my earbuds, and they pick up the Bluetooth. I have no
Oh.
idea why it wasn't working.
That isn't Jim famous for doing that? Because you got him last time. You're like, Jim, how many times did I tell you
Mike,
about your earbuds?
Mike
And
is
the
the
blue-
problem.
Yeah.
Mike is the problem. Here, I'll show
Oh,
you.
Tyler's here.
Tyler's on.
See,
Tyler
the
just
thing
came
is
on.
too is she's got her phone going and she's just
And I'm
cruising
talking to these
through,
people.
and she's talking to everybody, and I'll be
That's
looking
great.
off to the right, and she's like, "Oh, so and so had a question or said hi." I'm like, "I don't even see him." So I'm like, "We're not ignoring anybody. We're not ignoring anyone."
I'm
But,
not. Well,
yeah, OG's just like I'm saying hi to everybody. But,
I'm gonna play a clip real quick of Mike. Completely, he cannot figure out. He's the problem with the
Mike.
audio stuff. So this is Mike. He's retired
Every
years ago,
time.
but this
Oh wait,
is
is that the
ridiculous.
one?
Okay.
He was on when I did my show, right?
Yep.
He wasn't at his last show. What did I do? Thanks a lot, Manny. Mike's final show.
Is he talking right now? Because I can't hear
There's
him.
no,
nobody.
no.
Wait.
There's nobody.
Oh, okay.
There's
I thought Tim's lips moving.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
He's like playing tricks on us.
I see
Here we go.
it down in the
I'm an
green.
idiot. So
There
I'm
we
and
go.
like other important people, and then you got Tim Snyder in there. So yeah, we had a good time. Mike, what, you can't hear? What did you do? Mike
there-
has
there
been,
it is.
I've been watching him fumble through his thing, and now he can't hear anything. And and Mike, there's nothing that I can do. It's all on your end. You got to restart the thing. No, can't hear you. Live broadcast. This is tough to watch. Look at this guy. I mean, I have a little image of him on the bottom of my production thing, and this has been going on the entire time Tyler's been on. Him flipping the camera around, it's like, let's put him full screen and watch this nonsense. Yep, look at this. I got music for this too. So fucking, it's ridiculous. Every show. Oh my God. Mike, can we hear you? Nope. Why would we?
Nope.
Nope. It's you. Yep. Unbelievable. So there goes Mike. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what, though? And that's the exact reason that I go live all the time, because I just love shit like that, man. And it's just because you just never know. I mean, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's just like, let's let it rip and have some fun.
Yep.
That's
how you learn.
How you learn.
Oh, let's see, I'm trying to think. Okay,
Felicity's here. There's a Joy Ann here who hasn't been on before.
Oh, well,
welcome.
welcome.
Yeah.
King Handsome is.
Yeah, he wanted to come on
Kate,
too.
I
but-
saw. He said hi. Well, I see they're saying hi to Kate and Brenda. Are they on?
No, I don't see. I don't see Kate or Brenda. So I don't know where they're.
Man. And so yeah, I love that when you were showing what's his name, Mike, because there's so many times you sit there and it's just like you don't have a mic and all that.
Yep.
So what do? You start talking louder and you're like, can you hear me now? And you're like, and you're just,
there's so many variables when your mic goes out. So like I'm getting good at like figuring out, but we're amateurs, you know what I mean? I got that it's ridiculous. So but like, all right, real quick, I just want to do this real quick. And if I'm taking over your show, just tell me to stop. Tomorrow is episode 88. But we have a good time.
there's Mike again.
Bye, Mike. See you later. So obviously, I don't know what I'm doing, but like we it's not about like it's about messing up. It's about like fumbling through shit. Like that's that's what they associate.
Having fun.
That's what they, you know what I mean? So it's like
There's no perfect. You know what
no,
I don't ever want to be associated with. You will never hear anyone say, man, show, either Music and Mayhem or My Fighter War. They are so professional, right? Fuck you.
nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
No, we're not. But we get on here, just let it rip, man. To have people just come right out and they just tell their stories, and that's just and just like with you guys, man. When I had my issues back 5 years ago, the world was shut down because of COVID. So
Yeah.
I didn't have any choices because you couldn't leave the house, and
Right.
so I literally had nothing. I never went to any meetings. I never had like 12 steps. I never had a counselor. I never had a sponsor. I never had anything.
I
And
love
by the
it.
grace of God, I'm here. I had no. In fact, they told me, they said, Mr. Vitale, we're sorry, but if you have cravings or withdraw, or if you had harmful thoughts or suicidal thoughts, go to ER. That's that. And they said, we have nothing for you. And like I said, it was just such a blessing because, so when I started this, I didn't have anything because I had someone came at me when I got home from the hospital, and I will never ever ever disrespect anyone's platform if you're trying to help someone in a positive way with addiction.
Yep.
But I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody you have to do this or you'll fail. And I had someone tell me that when
Yeah.
they said, and it just so happened to be about doing the steps and all that, because the person said to me, Manny, if you don't do this, you have to do this. You have to get a sponsor. You have to do so many meetings a week. You have to call your sponsor. You have to. And I was going like this. I go, you're fucking making me want to drink right now.
Yep.
And the thing is, though, I didn't feel comfortable, but I've met so many people who have got the best outcome from doing the AA and the steps and doing different like fan care. We are social media, man, but some people need that structure.
Listen,
But that's
I'm fine with. I go to meetings, right? I don't do the
yeah.
steps. I don't feel comfortable doing the steps, but I go to meet. I run a meeting. The
Mhm.
only requirement for membership is the desire to stop using or drinking. That's me. I'm in. I'm a member, and
Sure.
it's like we've our panel, the people we've gone through and the people we have on now. They're AA people. Jim and Kaiser are both AA. They did the steps. They're successful. Will's a tweaker. I'm a heroin addict, and we all did things differently. But like Will or Kaisa and Jim, they will not say you have to do it this way. They
Yeah.
are. Our show is whatever doesn't, whatever keeps you from overdosing on fentanyl is fine with us. But just this, we won't tell you what to do, but this is what we did, and that's all we can. We won't
Yep.
tell anybody clinically what to do, but we support it all. I
Mm.
support AA. I like going to AA because
Yep.
it's a support group for me. I get to talk to people like me. I like them. Blah, blah, blah. So I take that from there. I go to a doctor. I address my mental health. I take that from there. I go to
Mm.
church. I take that from there. So I put all these things in my tool belt to keep me sober because these are things I haven't done before. And I certainly never identified it as an addict. And I would never put my face on a screen twice a week because that would hold me accountable. And if I want to just use like that, like I have over and over again for 6 years, this that I'm doing the opposite of what Tim would do. I'm going to meetings. I'm addressing my mental health. I'm doing a podcast. This give back thing. Everybody talks about giving back. You can only keep what you have by giving it away. Okay, I hear it. I'll do a podcast. That's what I can do. I'll give back, I guess. Little bit into it, all of a sudden I'm giving back. I'm like, holy shit, this is what they were talking about. This feels good to help this person.
You get that passion, man. You get something because then, like for me, I never had anything that passionate to talk about that mattered.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't matter. And now when I tell my story, to me, it's no big deal. But when people hear my story, I've got people going, hospice, you were supposed to be dead in 48 hours or 6 weeks. And then they said 48 hours. You were supposed, to me, living through it, it was just, doesn't seem like a big deal. But like, oh, geez, a registered nurse. And she's like, they don't have hospice take over your care unless you're done.
They're
And,
thinking you're
you
on
know,
your way out.
But like you
Mhm.
said too, man, I have finally found something, and it unfortunately took me almost dying multiple times to find that purpose, which is actually talking about very, very personal, very hurtful things, which is helping people. And like for Will, how just like a real quick on all of us here, how long were you using, and what were you using?
So I started when I was first day of high school. I was 14, a freshman year. I started. I don't consider marijuana, weed, a drug, but I mean, I started doing weed then. Smoking weed, drinking, but then I escalated maybe like junior, senior year. I tried like ecstasy and stuff like that, but as soon as I graduated, I did cocaine for like 6 months, and then I found meth, and I was like, "What the hell was I doing coke for?" And
You're
then
like,
I mean,
yes,
yeah, and so I mean, and I was off to the races at and I was about like 18 then, 18, and my mom had kicked me out of the house because of my sexuality, right? Well, where I live at in Georgia, I mean, I went down to Atlanta because like I fit in real well. I wanted to do meth. I mean, the community down there, it was all involved in there, and then it was just kind of like a free for all. And then I got so heavily involved with it, but I mean, I was off and on doing drugs, getting high, and all the way up until when I went to rehab, But I've been to I don't know how many rehabs. I've done the whole rehab thing. I've done
Oh
the
yeah.
geographical cure. I mean, I've lived in Vegas twice. I lived in Orlando twice. I love Vegas. And
I
but yeah,
bet.
that was that was an experience. And
Yeah,
but
we
my
heard about
my
that.
dad, yeah, right. My dad and both my brothers had lived out there, and that's how I was able to move out there at the time. But it was funny because I was locked up at Fulton County Jail here in Atlanta,
Oh
and
my
my
God,
brothers,
really? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
right. I was there for like 7 days, and it's like the worst
Sorry.
of worst of worst jail.
It is.
Like they've shut it down before. Anyhow, so my brother goes like, "I'll bind you out, but you got to move to Vegas, move out here to Vegas." And I said, "Okay." I was like, "Where do I sign up?"
Winner,
I
winner,
wasn't
chicken
even.
dinner.
I know, right? I wasn't even there for like 5 minutes, and we were going up the escalators. My brother turns around and hands me a pin cap. What the fuck? Well, why do I want a pin cap? And he goes, "Here, just go to the bathroom." And I was like, "Ah." I mean,
Ah,
and then we started back again. So I mean, it's been a lifelong thing. But the thing is that when I found meth, and I mean, I had gotten to be like 200 and like 70 something
it's
pounds
heavy.
by the time I was in like senior year or after I graduated. Well, when I found meth, I mean, hell, I lost so much weight. So it became an eating disorder also because I never wanted to go back to that size again. And I was
Yeah,
like, so the speed, I mean, like it answered, it was the answer to my prayers.
I bet.
So, but I mean, it was then I found the GHB, and I mean that was just complemented the meth, and it was just like it was
Man.
heaven.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I bet it was. We had me and Will are the same age, so we went through the same thing in the 90s, like ecstasy, like he was saying.
Yeah,
Um Ecstasy
MDMA.
was a gateway drug right there. Smoking pot, whatever, we did our thing, but you get your hands on that ecstasy and it's like back then it was trippy, right? Because it would be like
Yeah, yeah.
now it's just speedy and everything shakes or whatever, but back
Or they
then
got
it was
heroin in it.
yeah, it had heroin in it, it had psilocybin in it somehow, peyote in it, and you would trip. I remember looking at my friend, and his mouth was just orange glowing as he's talking to me, and I'm like, "I'll take another one, take three more," and that's how we were. But that fucking ecstasy, man, that really. Like I told the story about me tripping on shrooms at a baseball game in Philadelphia. That's when I was normal. Like that's normal, Tim. I was okay back then. That ecstasy stuff, man, it turned into cocaine. Cocaine was very expensive, so what am I gonna do? So crack was pretty cool, right? So that's easier. Smoking crack, and then you're up for days. We used to call it landing gear. You need to have landing gear, Xanax, heroin, whatever, and that's how you would pump the brakes.
Kind
And
of like take that elevator ride. It was just
Floyd
like,
S.
okay, you're
Green,
at your highest is high. Then all of a sudden you were just like, okay, let's slow it down. Not by stopping taking drugs. Let's just take this other drug to try to mellow out. And then from there, let's go to, all right, let's do another line.
Yep, exactly. So it is what it is. One thing leads to another, and you're a product of your environment. I went through the whole OxyContin thing, like it was just fucking everywhere. Right? They're just giving you OxyContin. I was writing my own prescriptions. I should just be getting out of jail now, right? Back in 2002, I was literally writing my own prescriptions, and it got to the point where like the margins were off, and I'm all fucked up. I'm still giving it to them, and they're still giving me 80 OxyContin, and that stuff is like heroin. I was getting
Hillbilly heroin, man.
OxyContin 160s, and I was getting 90 of them. I would have to cut them into slivers to not die. So like it's just, don't say hi to Floyd Green. He's my brother-in-law, and he is an ass.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He is.
Oh, there's a story.
He's the biggest jerk off I've ever heard in my life. He's a
no guilt,
lunatic.
blame, or shame here.
Nope,
Ah.
not at all. I see him on the street, I'll run his ass over. Anyway, so yeah, that whole OxyContin and ecstasy, that whole thing, it takes you, and if you're not treating your addiction, if you're not living a life of recovery, you will relapse. You will start that whole thing over again. And that's my story. I never identified as an addict. I'd get clean. I'd be like, nope, I'm good. And then that gave me the freedom to fleece everybody again and get everybody believing I'm doing something. And I got a little freedom. All right, I'll do this, do that, and I turn into this animal that I don't like. I don't like that person.
Oh yeah, man. And we've all had that too, where it was just like you get that little reprieve. And it's just like, and we thought that we had everyone fooled. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. They fucking didn't believe us. I mean, they knew. I mean, because how many times you hear rock bottom? Oh, you never hit rock bottom because you just push the ceiling up higher.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what I did too, man. It was just like you go through those like this time warp where it's just like when you do start to get those sober moments and you're like, you know what, you start to actually see, you look in the mirror and you see what's really looking back at you.
Yeah.
And that's just like how much, and that's what I think for me and a lot of people, that clarity, that moment clarity to see how terrible we actually look with the sunken in eyes and me being yellow as a banana and just, it's just like, man, looking at yourself and just like, what a failure.
Yep.
And, because that's what, and then hearing other people say that about us. And that's like I say now, words are so strong and so important, but at the same time, so dangerous because now it's okay, man, when you look in that mirror to say, look at that hero looking back. Look at that champion, man, because we've earned those stripes. And that's just, and it's because of platforms like yours, like ours. It's coming from people who lived it and thank God are alive to tell and share our stories.
Yeah.
It's like our man Jeremy right there. Jeremy, he's going to be coming on again, and just the stories that all of our your platform with your guys, and you hear these stories from these people, and just like when I was with the police, they'd say, "What's the craziest call you ever had?" The next one I'm going to get, because as soon as you think you've heard it all, the next call is even something worse. With the stories that we hear, it's like, oh my God, that's insane until you hear the next story. And,
exactly.
But we share and we're authentic. And but what really pisses me off is this recovery platform is when you get the people try to use it for their own benefit.
Yep.
I mean, hey, you know what? Social media, God bless you, man. It's there. If you want to be some superstar, more power to you. But to use a social media platform in recovery to try to bullshit people, to be popular in your own little world, fuck you, man.
Yep, no
and
shit.
To sit there and try to use bleeding hearts of others and try to bait them in. And that's why, like I said, as far as the authentic, the more I'm starting to grow and the people coming in, they're just like, what's going on as far as I'm the special guest.
I just thought I'd shake it up.
But they had people, and I'm sure they asked you guys, what's so-and-so like? They'll ask, what do they like, behind when the camera's off?
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I first started, I'm like, everybody's great. They're so nice and authentic and real. Well, after talking to Dan Donna and a few people, is like, well, that's not true.
Yep.
But then we meet guys like you, and hopefully, like you feel about us here, is you do get the ones who are authentic. And,
I can see it in 5 seconds. I can
Oh,
point it out from a mile away. Like
Mhm.
I saw something on Facebook today. It was like an ad, and there was this guy with this horrible Australian accent, and he's like, oh, you know, stopping drinking all the AA ways didn't work. You don't need anything. You just need my program.
oh
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, time out, bro. They need detox if they're drinking because they're gonna fucking seize and die. So let's not tell people you don't need anything, and then sell your program somewhere else. So like step one, the guy was telling people to gamble with
Right.
their life.
Oh,
No.
yes, and not only that too, because I went off a few times when these people are like, "Well, send me this, and I'll tell you how to do it." Fuck you again, man. You know what you do? You do it for one. You're not going to charge anybody because it comes from your heart, man. It
Yep.
comes from your soul. It comes from the blessings from above that we're still
Amen.
here, and you share it. But I saw something like that, Tim, where they had this special program that guaranteed. Well, first of all, there is no guarantee,
Oh,
but yeah, man, it's just being real and telling these stories is you just have to just be real. That is it. Our
Mhm.
stories alone are just like Kaiser right there, man. People will say, "Well, just stop."
yep. Why don't you
Well,
stop?
yeah, if it was that easy, because I actually did have someone say, "Well, Maddie, it's a choice. Addiction is a choice. So if you just stop, everyone's fine." Where the hell were you 15 years ago, man? 20 years ago.
Yep. Recovery is a choice. Addiction's not a choice. Addiction
Yeah,
is as soon as I took the first tramadol, the first anything that was a substance that flipped the switch, forget it. I'm an addict. I just realized it. Just before I took a substance, I was a hockey addict. I was a Nintendo addict. I was a Chips Ahoy addict, whatever. But now it's substance, and I'm like, yes. And then I start dating a girl that has Vicodin and Percocet, everything. I married her, obviously, because she's a pharmacist, and that
Oh,
sent me off to the races, right? I'm a
Mhm.
lunatic. So the last 6 years, I'm in rehab. I'm working in rehab. I'm just in and out of this thing. I didn't plan on this life. I had a family. I had 2 kids. I was raising a family. I had a decent job, making decent money. Then all of a sudden, things fell apart with me and my wife, and the addict thing clicked in again. Like I was a mild
Mhm.
addict, but I kept jobs. I did, and as soon as I had that freedom and that failure thing. I was never signed up to be weekend dad, and all of a sudden this stuff's happening, and I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna do my own thing. I start drinking. Never drank. 37 years old. Never drank. I did
Oh,
heroin stuff like that.
Wow.
I start drinking. I'm a terrible drinker, believe it or not. I crash cars. I get overdosed. And it was this thing, and I'm married since I was 20 years old. So like I'm an animal now. Now I'm a female addict. I'm not terrible looking at 37. I'm replacing the drug with girls, and then all of a sudden, the next time I replaced the drug with video games at 39 years old. That's great, right?
Mhm.
And then I replaced the drug with working in rehabs, right? And the rehabs became my recovery. So I'm segueing into something fun real quick. I think we'll
oh,
all enjoy.
oh boy.
This is at rehab. I met DMX, the rapper, and we were friends. And this is
Oh
that.
yeah.
DMX was in our rehab, banging everybody. He's dead. So
He's a rough rider.
yeah, Rough Riders roll. He was in our rehab twice, and I saw him buck naked. That was uncomfortable for me. Yeah, seeing a grown man
He's
spread
comfortable for
eagle
everything.
on his bed. I'm like, X, can I come in? Yeah, sure, bro. I'm like, all right, just checking. Oh my god, dude,
Put that thing
you are
away.
packing heat. He was
It was getting
packing
hot
heat.
in here.
Yeah, he would come out.
Hot in here.
He would come out to the nurse's station and read the Bible, and he would be rapping the Bible, and it was dope. Not being honest with you, it was awesome. And he was up one day, down the next. RSSs are bringing him McDonald's, and he private room. X ran that place when he was there. I'd call him X. That's how close we were.
That's
We were
how
friends.
close. Just call him X.
Yeah, we were friends. He
We got
asked for
Good
advice.
friends.
I would go in his room and talk to him unless he was buck naked. X was cool. Yeah, DMX. Dude was in debt. Dude had no money. He's got 17 kids from 11 different women. I mean, this guy was an animal. Like, just give me whatever you got. I want to eat it and bang it and whatever. So, like, that was DMX. And, you know, I just, you know, this disease does not discriminate at all.
No,
No,
So
it's
there you
funny.
have it.
You know, you were talking about meeting people, and you know, you get to some of these stories, and I told you about it, Tim. Is I was on a tour bus with some of the Red Wings and Tigers way back in the day for opening day for a Lions game. So we're all sitting there, and pouring rain, just pouring rain, and all of a sudden I look, and the limo pulls up, and out pops Gordie Howe and his wife, and
boy.
they're just soaked. So they run into the bus, and they had a scheduled interview in a couple hours. So we're all in the bus. A couple went into the game, and we're sitting there, and I'm talking to them. And just, of course, hockey players, it's like, Gordie Howe. So he goes in the back, and he's just relaxing. And they come in, and they're like, hey, is Gordie back there? And I go, yeah, he's just relaxing. So I turn around. I go, hey, Gordie. He goes, yeah. And I turn around and look, and there's my idol, Mr. Hockey, standing there in a pair of boxers. He's like, hey. And I was like, oh, number 9.
Manny, what number did you wear?
Number 20.
I wore number 9 because of Mr. Hockey.
Oh, man.
Ah,
That guy was an animal. He played for the Hartford Whalers at 50 years old, smoking Winston's in between the periods. That dude was something else. Real quick, this just caught my eye. Stephanie Rose says, hey, Manny, do me a solid. I need all the most positive vibes, thoughts, and prayers. My mom just got rushed to the ER for stroke symptoms. I ended up having to call 911. Super scared right now, stuck at her house with Gunner and my brother. Followed the ambulance up there. Stephanie.
Oh, my God, Stephanie. I am
yeah, so we're sending her
Stephanie is
prayers.
very close in our family. And she just had a little beautiful baby boy, Gunner. And yeah, Stephanie, I'm so sorry, man. Hit up myself or OG and
I've already-
Messenger.
yeah.
Keep us
us
informed
posted, yeah.
and let us know what's going on. We are definitely sending positive thoughts and prayers to your mom and to you and to the whole family. If there's anything that we can do for you, just reach out to us. And Tim, thank you for popping that on there, man. I didn't even see it.
Stephanie, I'm going to message you, by the way.
What?
I'm going to message.
If
Yeah,
we're here,
I'm going to go offline and message
she's
her.
gonna send it just message. She's gonna message you right now. Hit her up right now with some messages. Keep us updated, and we'll let the proper people know as well. But
all right,
but
I'm sorry.
thank you.
Yeah, that she needs it. I mean, that's what we do, and we're here too. I mean, I'm here. I get calls at 3:00 in the morning. Guys want to kill themselves. So like, I'm always here. My phone number is 609-384-0100. It's easy to remember. You call me. I'm here. All right, so I'm going to shift gears a little bit here and bring on our boy Nicky D'Angelo.
Hey,
Hey, what's
guy.
happening?
He's an
how
animal.
are you, sir?
I'm good. What's happening, brother?
I've heard stories, man. They Tim got a hold of me, and we're doing this show, obviously. And all of a sudden, he sends me a text. He goes, "Hey, listen, man, I got this guy. He's gonna be on tomorrow." He goes, "What do you think having him pop on?" He goes, "He's an animal." He goes, "It's just your speed." And I was just like, "Well, thank you."
Hell yeah.
Nick, man. Hey, but thanks, man. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, why not? Thanks for having me, guys.
My pleasure.
So
We love
I
you.
know that you're popping on Talking Trash tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be on.
Well, you know what? Since you got My Fight Our War and some of our another show I do, Music and Mayhem, people watching. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on?
Well, right now I'm in Florida. I'm in Almirada, Florida.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
My parents go there all the time.
yeah, dude, it's beautiful. If I can afford it, I'd live here. But it's totally different. We left on what was it, Wednesday, and we literally stopped. We actually stopped in Georgia, in Savannah, and then made the trek down, went to my aunt and uncle's in Spring Hill, and then made it down here. Miserable drive.
Yeah.
We made it like 3 hours, and then I went to the expressway. Don't know what happened. Ended up turning around, going and said, "Welcome to Maryland." So I don't know what the hell happened.
Way to go,
But
Nick.
other than that, life is good. If that's the hardest thing I got to deal with, I mean, at this point, recovery is pretty freaking simple.
I'll intro Nicky a little bit. He was one of the original hosts of our show. He was the original host. And he's great. Everybody loves him. We're gonna get him back in the mix a little more here. Look at that beard. I mean, how can you not love that beard? Unbelievable, Nicky D'Angelo.
Yeah, I made sure the next time I came on, I didn't look fucking homeless again. So I had to make sure I was good. I was a little embarrassed the last time.
We were saying, what does he look like under that beard? We can't fathom what. I don't think it's good. So you just
not
keep,
good.
When's the last time you were not totally clean cut, but trimmed down a bit? How long is it?
So it's nuts. So I was in my Oxford house and I trusted one of my housemates to
smart move.
Trim up my beard. So he trimmed it up. It was so bad. The second he touched it, I'm like, oh, this is fucked. So I literally shaved everything and I kept the mustache.
Nice.
It was such a bad look.
I got it. You got a picture. Yeah. You got a picture from back then.
I gotta find something. I don't know. I might have purposely deleted that, but it wasn't good. I can't rock a mustache at all.
So me and Nick worked at the same rehab that we were just talking about where DMX was at. Nicky, people he just owned a room. If he walked in a room, he owned it. You know what I mean? Nick's like 6'9", 500 pounds. He's a beast. Actually, he's trim. He plays softball. He's actually a fit big guy. But like people would listen to him. You know, he was very impactful in people's recovery, and that's what attracted me to him. Not physically, just friendship wise. And you know, you get to know the guy, and he's just positive. He's been through it, man. I mean, Nicky, we were talking the other day about the thing with your father. You were egging him on to fight you the last day you got high, and he wouldn't do it because he loves you, and that's amazing to me. Like that's who you were. I can see it physically. You could be an animal, but nobody thought as you as one. Everybody, I'm little, you're big, and we just like kind of did our thing. So like, what was it like early on? Like I know you went to an Oxford house and did all this stuff. Like what was that like? I mean, it sounded terrible. Like you just got thrown to the wolves.
Well, I mean, it was like I said, I don't know when I said it might have been last episode I was on. Like when I moved down to South Jersey. Like I accepted the fact that that's going to be my new home, you know?
Right.
So like I made sure that I didn't set a timeline. Hey, I'm going to be here for 3 months. I'm going to be here for 2 months. Then I'm going to go to Oxford. Then I'm going to go to, I have a whole game plan. I couldn't tell you shit when I moved down south. So my issue was my urge to get high turned into anger. So anger was like my number one thing I had to come on. Like if you said something to me, I was coming right at your throat. Like I thought I was this upbeat, honest guy, like super, I'll call you dumb, like you're stupid, but I'm thinking that's honest, but that's just surface level honesty. Like, and then I had a therapist that said, you need to be more honest. And I'm like, you sure? And he goes, you need to be honest about your feelings, the feelings that you have, deep down inside in your gut. So he's like, whenever you're feeling the type of way, speak on it. So I did. I took it my way and I ran with it. But I always let people know how I was feeling. I let people know the boundaries, what my boundaries were. If this kid Mike in the Oxford house, kept fucking with me, I tell him like, look, you do it again, I'm going to smack you, even if I meant it or not. But he just knew like where I drew the line, I always tried to be as honest as I could. That was the other thing, working on honesty. Like, I don't like people seeing me angry. I could say there's a select handful of times in the 8 years I've been clean where, that anger, where like your adrenaline's going and your face is like turning red and your voice is changing because you're so animated.
Yep.
So I don't want people to see that side of me. I really don't, because it's not a good side. And I worked really hard to, not get to that point.
Really, it's a side of weakness. And that's what you don't want them to see, because that's where you lose control.
Yeah.
The thing too with that is, for me,
this dog,
especially being in the recovery part now, when I first started my fight at war, in the first few months, I was telling Tim that I was getting all these like accolades and stuff. Manny, thank you for starting this amazing family. Thank you for all you're doing. When I was fine with that. Well,
Yeah.
then as I started getting more into it and more into it and more involved personally, I started getting these like personal um, comments about, Manny, you're wonderful. You're so
Yeah.
kind. You're this. And I was very uncomfortable. I was like,
Mm.
Yeah.
whoa, what?
Yep.
Because that wasn't me. Because in my past, I'm a former Detroit police officer. I rode with the One Percenter Motorcycle Club. Very fights, violence. I've been shot in the face, stabbed in the face. I mean, like, yeah, just violence was every day. That
Yeah.
was normal. And like for me, like some of the things you just said kind of, hit home where the honesty part. Because for me, I didn't know what honesty was. I never
Mhm.
was honest. I just lied about everything. But bringing that part up and showing emotions now, I mean, I if I'm not laughing, I'm crying. If I'm not crying, I'm laughing because all these emotions, it's just like we all got them. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like it's what you said too is everyone's different and what works.
Mhm.
But what you said, Nick, as far as being honest, let people know
Mhm.
because don't in our past we'd say this and really mean that, and because we were
Yeah.
just always lying and manipulate. But so I get what you're talking about, man. Because the people that like you just said about you don't want people to see you that anger and all that.
Yeah.
See, that's what people saw though, as far as like
Yeah.
for me, that's what they were used to blowing off the handle, man, just fucking just reacting.
Yeah.
And now when things happen, I step back, take a breath, think about it, and then react. And it's
Yeah.
just so it is so neat, man. It's just like
Yeah.
so being sober is actually cool. And it's
I
just
I love that you
Yeah.
brought that up, Manny, because sorry, I'm vaping. Like yeah, like I'm not reactive anymore. I stop and I think about it and I don't say words that I don't want
oh
to say those. And it makes life easier. Like it complicates things to say something that hurts somebody. Now they have a resentment. Resentment's turned into relapses, and it's a disaster. Like now when something happens, I stop, I think about it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to handle this differently. I'm not going to respond impulsively. And
Yeah.
it's a different, it changes your world. And that's why you said recovery is awesome. It's cool. It
yeah,
is. I'm learning. Like a year ago, Nick will tell you, I was all over the place. But like a year later, like I'm settling off and I'm starting to see the positives. And once you start to see them, it's easy to keep doing them because
oh yeah.
positive things happen. Like we all want
Mhm.
positive shit to happen, but we're using and we don't know how to make positive shit happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, just like the words, though, some of the words that because you hear people say all the time, man, physical abuse, verbal abuse, and then you'll hear, hey, listen, man, physical abuse, the scars heal, verbal abuse. And I remember hearing certain things and saying certain things. And yeah, you can say you're sorry every day of your life. It ain't going away, man, because you said it. Some of the things now, when I look back at some of the, I mean, I feel bad about both things I've done physically and verbally, but some of the things that you say verbally can cut so much deeper than a punch in the face.
yep.
It was just like, oh my god, I can't believe that I said that, and
Yeah.
especially to like me, my mother,
Mhm.
to in relationships, family members. It's just like, and I lay there at night sometimes. Still, it's just like you know, but but we
It,
are all, look at us now, man. I mean,
Yeah.
in active addiction, we were just like we didn't care. Like we didn't know what's right and wrong. Emotions, like you said, Manny. And now you're back in the world with everybody else. And like early on, it's like, oh shit, I don't know how to handle any of this. And then you seek out your support systems and the people that are like minded, and you figure it out. The key is you don't pick up. If you don't pick up, you can't use. If you don't
Mhm.
use, you don't start this cycle of destruction. Whatever you got to do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, eat cookies and gain 50 pounds. That's way better than being heroin chic.
yeah,
So something
and,
just
and,
popped in my
and
mind here. I just got to say it real quick. Please get Narcan, everybody,
mm,
because we're dealing with some shit with our show where Narcan wasn't available. Please, it's easy to get 2 boxes because sometimes it takes 3 of these things. It took 3 for me. And if you're in a suicide situation, 988 is the crisis helpline. So, all right, I'll
and
stop taking over your show. Go ahead.
the thing is too, man, is you got to reach out, man. And a lot of it is the ego thing, especially with me as a former first responder. You know, you throw that badge and gun on, and you think you're this tough guy. As an EMT, you know, you think you're a tough guy running with these motorcycle clubs, but you got to check your ego at the door. You know, there's nothing more badass and tough than looking to somebody and with tears in your eyes, I need help. That is a tough. You just beat the shit out of the toughest guy around by just your words alone saying that I need help. And then we are so amazing as in recovery. I had Nick. I don't know if I had a guy one time going off on me about you fucking addicts, man. You're just selfish. You're weak. You're pussies. You're this. You're that. You don't care. You know. And I'm just sitting there taking it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, you know what? And I finally had enough. I said,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. You're absolutely everything you just said on with all of us in active addiction. You're right. I go, however, when you're dealing with one of us or all of us in recovery, you can't be more fucking wrong. We
No
are the
shit.
baddest motherfuckers around. We are
10-4.
tougher and stronger than any of you. And I said,
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to bullshit you. I go, we put up with the same personal, financial, relationships, work, all of these problems that everyone else has piled on every day. We have those same problems. And this little thing called addiction
Yep.
24/7. We deal with that as well. And not only that, we reach out and do this and help people, call people, do meetings to support. So, no, once you get into recovery, you are dealing with the most elite fraternity of badass warriors, which is us sitting right here.
Hell
And all
yeah.
the people
Mhm.
in Trash Talking, all the people in My Fighter War. And I'm proud to be part of this family.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Listen,
Really
we
am.
got
Yeah.
recovery's hard. I mean, it's giving up and using is easy. Recovery is hard. So not only do we have to pay our bills and do our stuff like everybody else does, every Joe Schmo, but we have to fight this thing inside of us that says, "Go grab a substance; it'll feel good."
Oh,
And
make it easier. Yeah.
and what we so quickly forget is the path of destruction behind using that substance. We think about that fleeting moment of getting high, the blood going in the needle, the whatever it is, the alcohol hitting your stomach. You think about that, you romanticize about that, like that is the only thing that happens. Not with us. With us, you want a beer? Sure. And I'm in a porta potty smoking crack with somebody 10 minutes later. So like that's
Yeah.
kind of how it goes for us. And it's something we have to bear. But like you said, Manny, it makes us tough as shit. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
and we give back. No one would blame any of us if we became straight, got our shit together, and then just focused 100% on ourselves and our immediate family. And
Yep.
didn't do any meetings, didn't attend anything, just took care of ourselves and our immediate family. No one would blame you for that because you're taking care of you and your family. But that's not what we do.
Nope.
We reach out and we help the person who's struggling. We reach out to that person and do all that stuff. I mean, like for Nick, for you, I mean, how long? As far I don't know anything about you at all. How long have you had issues with addiction?
I mean, I'm 34. I went into my first treatment at 18.
Oh,
Went into my I went into my it goes into my family too. Both my uncles, one of them died through complications like 15 years ago. My one uncle George, he's actually sober for like 40 something years. Myself, I went into my first treatment at 18, got out, was team sober, went to Florida, did the shuffle real quick, was like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm good.
Yep.
Came back up within 3 months. I was back in treatment. Got kicked out, and then went to live with my father. And then I was good, for a couple of years, which I was not, but
No.
but I've been going on and off with it since I've been 18. But now I've been clean since 26.
Got a boy,
all
Nicky.
right. What
Here,
what was the drug of
26.
choice there?
Oh, everything.
everything.
Yeah, that's
Everything. I was uppers though, mainly uppers. I was a big nightlife guy. I mean, I could be up for weeks at a time.
that's like
I was a street guy. I was out roaming Newark and Jersey City,
Yeah.
just looking for
that.
something to do to beat somebody up. I was just high all the time.
Mhm.
But
See, I was my friends who I don't smoke weed because I would two things. I would either sit there and laugh my ass off, or I would smoke weed and just go.
yeah,
And like you, Nick, I want to be at that party jumping off the walls.
yeah.
So when I had that first time I that first line, it was just like, oh, okay. It was just like, this is the greatest shit ever. Okay, it's like, Maddie, you want another beer? Yes. You want another shot? Yes. You want to go jogging? Yes. You know?
Yeah, let's buy both.
Yeah. Let's buy a boat.
Yeah, let's go bumper hitching. It's July. I don't care.
Yep.
You know,
Oh, always.
but yeah. And then I get my buddies who were taking downers and stuff, and they'd be sitting at a party, and they were just like,
yeah, they're no fun.
No, I like them. All right.
But here, each their own. But yeah, Nick, I'm like you. It's just like, what time is it? It's 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay, time to get this thing started.
Hell yeah. I mean, listen, I remember one time my sister, it's funny. I was up for like weeks at a time at this point. And my sister said, hey, like, are you going to Mom's on Saturday? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. And I'm like, I got plenty of time still. She goes, dude, it's tomorrow. Like, I still thought it was like the following Sunday, like before. I had no moment tracking time of like what days of the week it was. It was all just the same shit.
What an animal.
That's
funny. Hey, how about this real quick for ego, right? We were talking about ego before. Me and Nick, right? So like Nick was on the show and I wasn't doing great. You know what I mean? I'm early on in recovery. I'm not like in my situation. The show is just, I'm going through the motions. And Nick's like, I'm not going to do the show unless you start doing shit for yourself. I was like, all right. I never talked to him. I just kept doing the show. I said, oh, Nick said he didn't want to do it anymore. Nick just bailed. And I dogged him on that, right? And that's my ego saying I can do this. You know what's fucking funny is he was right. I needed to go to meetings. I needed to plug in. I needed to do the right things. And, Nick sacrificed his own, he took a stand for recovery for me. And I'm not even sure I said sorry to him, but Nick, I'm sorry.
We're good now.
That's how it is. That's how recovery is. You know, he loved the show. He loved being on. Everything's great, but he was willing to take a step back for my safety.
Well, that's like, well, Will, man, how, with everything you got going on, with, uh-oh.
No.
Oh, I thought OG was flipping me off again.
No.
But, with all these stories and stuff, is one more relatable to you as far as with your issues, or is there something a little different?
Well, no, I mean, like, the one thing is that, like, ever since I was a child, I was always told by my mother that I had the addictive personality, that I was going to be because of my grandfather or people in my family. So therefore, I always grew up believing that I was going to be it was already in my mind. So therefore, I mean, I identified pretty much with it, like not unwillingly, but like subconscious, just like being told that, not knowing what that truly meant, So therefore, I mean, it almost kind of gave me an excuse just I already had an excuse planned by my mother for whenever I did go off the rails,
Man, so how old were you when she said that?
She was, I mean, as long as I can remember, like, even as like when I was in my single years, like, I mean, like before 10, I mean, I can always remember because we lived in a small town and my grandfather was an alcoholic, and I mean, it was a small town, but we were a wealthy family, and my grandfather was an alcoholic, and my mom. I mean, there's a lot to that story, but I guess my mom goes, and my mom she uses it. My mother is not a addict as of alcohol, drugs, but she has her own things. But she won't identify. No, I'm not. So, I mean, it's like one time I remember she said, I can't believe you don't remember when your grandfather, when he like snatched you up by the arm and left bruises around your arm. I'm like, if I don't remember, why are you reminding me? I'm like, you're trying to put me back in that place, But the thing is that it's kind of a crazy part is, I moved to Orlando and lived there for 8 years because my mom and stepdad moved down there. He got transferred. Well, I lived there, and I didn't have a job. I mean, I did, but I didn't. But I was always doing all kind of crazy stuff. And my stepdad would be always just going at my mom, going, just nagging her about me and what I was doing and all this stuff. And my mom's like, he had 2 younger children that were living with them because he had to take emergency custody from his ex-wife because she was an alcoholic back when they were very young. So anyhow, my mom's like, one day your time will come. And, that's all I'm going to say. Well, it's kind of crazy is he retired and he still has an apartment down in Orlando, but he also lives up here with my mom. He goes back and forth. and they're still married and everything. And my mom, I was at work one day. My mom called me. She's like, "Hey, what time are you going to be off work? I need you to come home with the dog out." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, I'm at the hospital with my stepdad. Um, apparently, he's been doing oxys for the last 2 years." And
Christ.
I was like, oh, I was like, number one, why are you at the hospital? Why aren't you at why aren't you at the rehab? You know better. And I was like, number two, I was like, and so it was just like, it's crazy how now my stepdad, my relationship is now how he sees the whole entire,
Well,
here. Can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
me?
good.
There
Uh,
you
we
are.
are.
There you are.
We're back.
it's,
We're back.
it's funny how my stepdad and my relationship is now, and like how my mom is still over here trying to like she uses her words to try to manipulate us and try to control us. Like because my mom always wanted to be the I call it the she wanted to be the savior. Yeah, she would want me to get in trouble so she could come and save me, and therefore she could use that as
Oh,
a prop. And so
That's
therefore, I
rough.
mean, let me tell you, we had my mom and I. We're good now, but we've had the craziest relationship. But when talking about words, like, when you were saying about like words and how they cut, well, back a few years ago when I was started my process of myself getting sober and clean, like I mean, from the drugs, of like the, I mean, I was still smoking weed or drink here and there, but my mother like saw that and didn't like it, and so she would start back at her gang where the things that she said would get me back to going to do meth or going to do G. Well, finally, I mean, like I mean, like you have to. Sometimes I believe you got to say something that cuts so deep that it's gonna have to trigger something in them. And I mean, I went off and I told her, I'm like, Mom, I go, I love you, but I don't. I go, I love you because you're my mother, and that's it.
you.
And I said, I don't love you, but I love you because you're my mother. And I told her that, and I think it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it did strike a chord with her. But so now at this point in time, now I do tell her, which is weird because I never have before. Before we hang up, I just say I love you. I mean, so it's gotten to that now. So, but our relationship, I have boundaries, and she knows it's well. She still pushes them. She still tries me every day, but
Yeah.
she knows that I won't tolerate it because if I tolerate it, it's gonna build back up into resentment, and guess what? I'll be gone.
So,
Well,
Dave,
you've learned through trial
yes.
and error now, and you've broke
Yeah.
those boundaries. And your story is so common. Like so many people have this family trauma stuff that's going on, and it molds them, and you become a product of your environment.
Well,
And people
let's talk
also don't
about
realize,
Munchausen syndrome.
Munchausen
yeah,
syndrome.
Munchausen,
Yes.
exactly.
And then it's
but
Munchausen by proxy when you start doing stuff, actually
yes.
physically
Right.
doing stuff. So, yeah, that's what it made me think of, Will.
Munchausen. Yep.
And also, I always had all the support, and that was a big issue though too, is that I always had all, like I had great insurance like through my stepdad, like until I was 27. I went through the nicest rehabs. Don't get me wrong, and I had all that kind of support, but it was just like I was just going there to just to
Yep.
entertain my family. But I mean, people that have that kind of support is more, I would think, more dangerous than people that don't have the financial means or along that sort because all they're doing is just enabling you even more
Yeah.
without in their mind they're helping you, but guess what, I mean, it's just like you're just hooking me up with better people to know.
There's a difference between
Exactly.
a hand out and a hand up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
Yeah.
and you have to like these boundaries are important because like you said, words cut, and I know in my life I've had a couple of words to me that changed my trajectory. It changed
Yeah.
my path. It stung me so bad that it snowballed into a disaster. So
I had an issue, not an issue. I had a situation during my bad times. I was sitting at the table, and I think I told you guys that when I was on your show, sitting with my mom, and it was one of those where she says we have to have a talk. One of those talks, which is basically you're ruining your life, you're ruining this, nobody loves you, and you're causing all. One of those talks. So I'm sitting there, yes, 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 and all of a sudden I look, and my mom starts to cry. And then she starts crying even more. And now she's sobbing. I mean, just sobbing. And all of a sudden she's beating on her. She goes, "You're breaking my heart." And she's just sobbing. And here's me. Mhm.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Mm.
And it was just like that. And fast forward a year later, sober and everything, sitting at that same table one day. We're laughing, having breakfast, and just talking, having a great time. And also, I'm looking at her, and it was like time stopped. And it was like a slideshow took over, and those exact pictures of her starting to cry took over her face. Then the next one of her sobbing, and then the next one of her, "You're breaking my heart." And I'm looking, and I'm just staring at her, and I could hear her saying, "What's the matter?" And I'm looking, and all of a sudden, I lose it. I start crying, and I'm like, "I am so sorry. I am sorry for what." Because I just, it took that year to make sense of what I actually did and said and how it made me feel. And of course, in a mother's way, she goes like this, "Oh, it's okay." No, it's not okay. That, and she was worried about, don't go back there. Don't be thinking about the past. For me, I want to remember that. I want to remember how terrible I felt just reliving that moment of seeing my own mother and me not giving a shit. And it was just like taking that moment now. And if I start to get a little bit, whatever, just sideways or something, thinking about that, it's like boom. But yeah,
Nick,
I mean,
Nick said it great on one of our shows. He's like, you know, you don't live in the past. If you're the past. He said the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. I think that was it.
exactly.
And
No,
and
I don't think so. That sounds too smart to be me. I don't know.
That
If that
was
I don't.
what definitely wasn't me.
Kaisa,
I don't know. I
Probably
don't
does.
think I would.
Kaisa.
I don't think I
Well,
would use those
all right,
words, but maybe I said it.
maybe not that quote, but I absolutely know that you talked about the past, rearview mirror, you know,
Yeah.
present, and it really stuck with me. Like I'm like, oh shit, you know, you don't stare at the rearview mirror because you're gonna hit what's in front of you. You know, you gotta glance. You glance at it. You remind yourself. You know, and you make changes accordingly. So like, you know,
But see,
that's
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like you got to embrace it. You got to embrace
mhm,
it because what
yeah,
happened made me who I am right now. You know what I
Thank
mean? And
you.
all the, and you got to remember the pain. Like he's saying, like you got to remember the
Mhm.
pain. Like I don't forget trying to fight my dad my last day getting high. I don't forget my sister coming to the house, you know, crying because I'm getting high and doing all this crazy shit. I don't remember or I don't forget my mother's face after she saw me pawn 90% of her jewelry and then getting taken away in handcuffs. Like, I don't forget those things,
Yes.
you know, and it makes you stronger. Like, you have to embrace it like it happened. That's the
mhm,
past life. That's not who I am now.
right,
Right.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
can't. And that's what happens, though. People get these things back. That's Tim. You could see it like when we worked in treatment.
yeah,
How many times these people kept coming back? Oh, what happened? Oh, my girl and I started talking again. And it's just like, well, you know, what are you going to do? Your motivation's lost. You
right,
know,
Yeah.
now you got to find other things to self motivate yourself besides getting your job back, getting your girl back, or
yeah.
your, oh, I found coping skills to get these feelings at bay. Like, no, you got to continue, you
Nick,
know?
Yeah.
Nick said once, he goes, you know, you get sober and the family member comes home and they're like, I don't even like you like this. So
Right.
you don't know what you're dealing with. The
It
bottom line is,
happens.
I
Yeah,
know. And,
when I sit there and I look at the past, and you'll always hear that. Don't go in the past, don't dwell in the past, don't stay in the past. And I thoroughly agree with that. But I I don't agree with don't go there because
right.
for
Hmm.
me, I like going there at
Hmm.
times just to get myself straight.
Yes.
If I start and nothing, bad decisions or anything like that, but every now and then, I'll be looking at something. It's like, okay, well, what could I be doing different? And then I'll take that little trip down memory lane. It's like, okay, well, you're a lot better than here, but don't forget this. So, when you think you're doing bad, remember what you did then. Learn, and Nick, you said learn from it and then
Hmm.
move on. Don't go back to it and just use it for an excuse to be an asshole still.
Hmm.
Learn from it. So I got you guys on that. So
It
Yeah.
has to be in early recovery. It has to be recovery first because you don't know what's going on. Like,
Yes.
and you get to a point if you're not strong enough to look in the past, you look back there and you start living there real quick. You know what I mean? And it's just it's regrets and it's it will take you out. Like I've done the steps. I've gotten to my eighth step and I started writing my resentment or not my resentments, my amends, and it turned into you owe me amends. I don't owe you amends. You did me harm. You did me harm and you start to focus on the things and you lose track of yourself, you know what I mean, being present about who you are and what you've done. And if you're not strong enough in recovery, if you're not there yet, it's a dangerous road to go down because it can take you out. You start living in the past, and next thing you know, it's rough. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
So
it really is. And all right, I tell you what, I just got a glimpse up here and saw where we're at. So unfortunately, we are going to have to cut this off here in a little bit. So
well, Manny, I have a request. Just
yes,
throwing
sir.
it out there. We're cross promoting.
Yes.
Would you like to do clean time on your show?
Clean time on my show.
What's
Like,
clean
what was
time?
clean time again?
clean
Got
time?
throw in the dates.
We do clean time when we go through everybody's thing. You can announce it just like Jacqueline, 40 days, way to go. It's a video.
Oh yeah,
that we,
yep.
So
Yeah,
I thought that would be fun.
actually, we do that. We don't have the graphics like you did, but what we do is we'll have everyone go through, and it's either that day or coming up or whatever passages. And I like to throw in just anything. I mean, first let's get our sober dates out there, but not only that, like what else? I mean, let's just celebrate everything. If it's something that's making you happy, how about you're celebrating your birthday, you're celebrating an anniversary, you're celebrating. Your kid made the varsity team, something that you're celebrating. Let's throw that out there as well. And then the one was like, a divorce. Yes. Congratulations.
Exactly. It's all a matter of perspective.
No, but I like that.
So we keep track. Manny, you announce it. Well, it's that time. It is clean time. You'll say, it's clean time, you ask? Well, glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Clean time is the amount of days or years that you've been clean and sober. We're a family here on T-Dubs, so let's get into our clean time segment. Go ahead, Manny.
All right, we got Ella Schaefer, 40 days sober. Ella.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hey, good job.
Matthew D, 41 days. Congratulations, Matthew.
That worked.
La Rhonda Shirley has 57 days sober. Congratulations. Corbin Johnson, 66 days.
Jockstrap
has 67 days. There you go.
Jockstrap.
Misty Hayes, 77 days.
Good job.
Real Misty.
Deborah H, 83 sober days. Congratulations, Deborah.
Get it.
And Daisy McLean has 99 days sober.
Daisy McLean.
Jeanette R, 100 days. Congratulations,
Good
Jeanette.
job.
There he is.
James Cobb, 113 days. Carrying it up. Congratulations, James. Dustin Wells, we're looking at 120 days for Dustin.
Well, Dustin.
Tara Dixon, 123 days sober.
Good job.
Timothy F has 123 days. Congratulations.
Boy.
Jeremy Moore looking at 129 days. Jason D, 144 days.
Bridget Shead.
146 days. DW, 150 days.
E.
Haley McDermott, 159 days sober. Congratulations. Skyler at 160 days. David McDowell, 180 days. Congratulations.
He's the one that emailed you.
Okay. Me?
Valencia K. Yeah.
K. How many days does she have? Oh, sorry.
185.
Under
Vanessa M for 5. All right.
April.
213 days sober.
Monik Bonnie.
Bonnie, 214 days.
Alex.
Alex McCrane, 216 sober days. Samantha Hess is looking at 219 days.
Nice girl.
Cindy has 218 sober days.
It's your destiny.
223. Michaela Booker, 245 sober days.
That's it.
Yes, right on, 253. David B, 256.
Atta boy, DD.
And Jay Hamilton, 258 days sober. Congratulations.
My man.
Alex M, 256 days.
Steve W. Crikey.
That much, 275 days. Congratulations.
Tony J, put a shirt on.
She's like, I've been sober 9 months. I don't have
Yep.
to.
I don't care. Maria Gladden.
Yeah, I'm so glad. 288 sober days.
That girl. My friend Jen Magner.
And Magner, 296 days. Cheers.
300.
At 301. Mandy team, 347 days sober.
Our guest.
Kevin is 347 days.
Powerful story.
Michelle, 354. Congratulations.
Boy, Deshaun, we knew you could do it.
1 year, man. Tyson, congratulations.
Good job.
Man.
Proud of you, buddy.
This is Murphy, 389 days sober.
Ricky Vicker, our NASCAR driver.
All right, 390 laps.
Atta boy.
Cassie Scratcher, 403 sober days. Congratulations, Cassie. Katie, I'm looking at 434 days. Greg Booker, 460 sober days. Congratulations, Greg.
Ronnie J.
Ronnie J,
Good job.
422 days.
Oh boy. Colby Jack Cheese.
474 days.
Eh.
WW, what's up there, Rip? 491.
Look at this. Will Douglas.
500 days. 500
Hey.
Yeah.
He didn't even know it.
606 days. Congratulations, dude.
That's me. Jim Leibel.
Hey, I know this guy. 3 years.
Running with the Bulls.
Good
Jim.
job.
Amelia.
All right.
3 years.
You're gonna kill me, Manny, because I got you're wrong on here.
April 5th. You got me what? Oh, Manny V. 3 years.
No.
5 years. 5 years.
I know. We'll
Manny.
fix it. We'll fix it.
Yes, 3 years. Tyler Brandon, look at that, 4 years sober.
Good job.
Ella.
Stella Montes, 4 years.
Ella.
You did.
Stella!
Kaisa.
Kaisa! 5 years sober. Kaisa.
Girl.
Simon Cross, 6 years sober. Congratulations on 6 years.
Check his book out, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Tina C, our best friend.
8 years sober. Congratulations.
Look at this guy.
Hey,
Good job.
Hey.
All right.
Neil K.
Okay, 13 years. Lucky 13. Ryan K, 26 years sober.
He's the winner. Hey, who's the most important person in the room? The newcomer, Ricky DeMarco, 5 days.
There you go. Congratulations, Rick.
Good job.
Anthony Steele, 11 days. Congratulations, Anthony.
Good.
Chelsea, 16 days.
Get
You
it.
gotta have one before you get two. Alex on 26 days. Congratulations, Alex.
There you have it. Way to go,
And you
clean
know what?
timers.
We got a couple more here. We got Jacqueline Blankenship, 1,478 days.
Atta girl.
Tyler, sober date is 9/3/2022. Congratulations, Tyler.
Good job.
Go, everybody. See, this is what it's about. I didn't mean to take over your show, but you know, this is what we do.
This is
The
our
family show.
This is
It's-
our show.
yeah,
The
exactly.
family.
So I just thought you'd take a little look at our 7 minutes of distraction here.
I've always said that. Now, when it comes to these shows, I've always said from day one, this has never been an I and a me. This is always us and we.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. It's
Well,
us and we, man. We're family.
We're blessed to be on My Fight Our War, and to have found you. I mean, god damn, you've donated so much to our show already just by being on there, and so it's my pleasure to come on and do your graphics and whatever.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
That's how we do it.
Nick, Nick, I'm really looking forward to meeting you, and I know you're doing
Sure.
Talking Trash with the guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
If you'd like to reach out to OG here, if you'd like to come on My Fight Our War, you've got an open
Okay, cool.
invitation as family. We'd love to
Yes,
hear
sir.
your story, man. And
Awesome.
and Will, I mean, thank you for everything. Definitely appreciate it. And
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
I mean, this is just the beginning. You know, this is something that's,
Definitely.
there's unfortunately, as long as addiction's around, we're around. And it's so important to remember, man, addiction's only a fucking word. It's not a death sentence.
Damn
And we're
right.
here to prove that, man. You guys are all incredible, and I'm fans of all of yours. and I'm very proud to be part of this, man. And I can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
sir.
likewise, Manny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's like I said, Nick and Will, I tell all the guys, and Kaisa, Jim, please hit
That's
us
it.
up. We can
Mhm.
tell the stories and share those as well.
We're on Mondays, 7 p.m. ish.
And every Monday, check us out.
Definitely.
And every Wednesday with my brother Skylar Ray, we've got a show, Music and Mayhem, where we kind of cut loose as well. But
Cool.
Well,
again-
it just
uh-oh,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh,
Oh shit.
He said shameless. He
uh-oh. Well, we got Will, we got me,
hey.
there I am.
we got
Yeah,
Tim.
I'm not the
Okay.
best at this, but you know, it
Hey,
is what it is.
hey, and
One
that's
click
why-
away. One click away.
I,
Live
al-
show.
I always say I'm one click away from destroying the whole thing, and it's true. So
Hey, well, I had a great time, man, and
thank you guys.
I appreciate it. Tim, Will, thank you so much.
Thank
And,
you.
let's chit chat the next few days here. Let's line something up, and we'll get everyone. Excuse me. Let's get everyone going on. And if you guys, I love doing this shit. So you might get another call last minute, or if you guys got something, it's like last minute. It's like, oh shit, we got this, and
Let's call Manny.
call
Yeah.
me, and let's do it.
I'm
Definitely.
24/7. I
All
don't leave this spot. I do talking trash night to so if you need me, I can come on. I'll try to wrangle my crew. But yeah,
That's,
thank you so much. You know, talking trash is this. Hey, you want to be part of our family? Yeah, come on. You can be a host. Yeah, whatever. Everybody, just let's go. And that's
do
what
it.
this is about. And I love it.
Mhm,
And we're
mhm.
pleased to meet you. OG, I love you down there. You're so you're
I'm
like
taking
the
all the notes.
you're like the glue. You know.
Oh shit!
So
I swear to God. So,
Correct.
but Tim,
Uh,
Will, thank you guys so much.
Appreciate
And,
you. Thank
we
you.
will be talking very soon.
And if you
Yes.
want to come on the show on Monday night, you got
W-
to message me.
Yeah, we're our Mondays right now. We're slammed all the way through April. But for the family, what we're doing is we're adding stuff. We have to. So,
Mhm.
all right, guys. Again, thank you so much, and we'll be chit chatting soon.